You can't sneeze if you're fucking dead. Captain Professional YouTuber over here. I don't have anywhere to put my mic because, as is typical for this kind of video, I'm not wearing any pants. Yeah, it's probably gonna be blurred and says no one wants to see that. But, so my mic is just gonna sit here. It's fine. I'm only filming like the intro of this video now, which I've actually already ruined. So, yeah, I didn't clean up the graphics card from, let me put this away. So, yeah, I didn't clean up the pile of graphics cards that I have on this desk from the last video I filmed here, and I don't intend to, but I'm just filming the beginning of this one, so that's fine. But in today's video, I've got something very cool for you guys that I just thought of 5 minutes ago because I needed an idea that I could film quickly so I didn't feel terrible about myself. We got this. If you've been around the channel for a while, what's wrong with you? But also, you may remember this from a video I did a long time ago, but I thought, you know what? I think it's time to take a look at it again because now it's older and still weird. This motherboard that I got from China a while ago. I bought this motherboard on AliExpress, the Jingsha something X89 new. That's it. That's all we know about this. So, let's just open this thing up and get right into it. The premise of today's video is very fucking simple. This is a magical Chinesium motherboard that I got from AliExpress a couple years ago now. And it is very unique. Now, you can already tell from looking at it that, duh, it's unique. Now that I'm looking at the board, I kind of think it's funny that this cooler for the chipset on this board is beefier than the entire cooler for the CPU of the printer motherboard I looked at a while ago. I looked at a little bit ago and I'm working on a video on. Now, this motherboard that Jingsha claims is X89, which I don't think is a real thing, has a single G34 socket. G34 is the AMD Opteron socket. If you don't remember Opteron, I don't really blame you, it wasn't too impressive. That light is facing the wrong fucking direction. Opteron is what you would consider the predecessor to AMD's EPYC CPUs. Now, it's their old server CPUs. Normally, they would come in pairs of 2 or even 4. I actually have a motherboard with 4 of these that I should be checking out in a future video. But this motherboard from Jingsha only has a single Opteron socket, and which I have populated with an AMD Opteron, whose name I can't read, but I know it's a 16 core, and these are the specs on screen. Whoa, it's crazy, it's 16 cores, but for some reason in Windows 10 it's 8 cores, 16 threads, because the way AMD does cores is weird. It's weird. Well, anyways, the last things to note about this board is we've got an M-SATA port here, a 16X and a 1X PCI Express slot, and realistically speaking, not much to, cry home about. Let's go home, run home. Dude, what is wrong with me? So, here we've got our I/O. And it's pretty fucking basic. We've got gigabit Ethernet, 2 USB 3s, which someone told me are just USB 2s, but with a little more power available to them and not actual USB 3s. Maybe I'll test that. And then 6 USB 2s and PS2, as well as 5.1 audio. Nothing real special. I mean, we've got 2 DDR3 DIMM slots up here, one of which is populated with this Micron 4GB stick. We'll add more later for the testing. Now, the cooler that goes on it came with it. It's got this really stupid long ass like plate, and you just kind of screw it on both sides like that. Boom. Ta-da! Wow, this was worth turning the lights on. Anyways, this is the board. We're gonna test it, and now I feel bad. I do not feel good right now, not at all. See, now I'm happy. Baloney trampoline. Yeah, I'm not okay. Yeah, this shit's all fucked up. Alright guys, I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been sick for like 2 months, and I have no idea what's going on. So today I've taken Claritin D, 2 Benadryls, and 3 beers, so this is about to get really interesting. Because, you can't sneeze if you're fucking dead. And these are because the music is the only thing stopping me from losing my fucking mind at the moment. So anyways, let's get back into the video. I fucking forgot what video I was filming. So this is the AMD FirePro S9300X2, an awesome graphics card, which actually has 2 GPUs on it. I need help. I've been asleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying. So I'm listening to music while recording this voiceover part, and I'm also for some reason recording 5K video for the sole purpose of recording the audio to have it consistent, because I'm an idiot and stupid. But if I jumble my words, it's because there's literal music blasting into my ears to avoid me having to be alone with my own thoughts for 2 seconds. So, right, I forgot what this is about. So as you can see in the background, I installed my Dogfish SSD. Yes, it's called a Dogfish SSD. Yeah, I thought we'd stick with the China theme here. So Dogfish. Fucking Dogfish, man. That's okay. So we put in our Dogfish mSATA SSD, and I also threw in 16 gigabytes of the server, ECC DDR3, that I got from one of my ASUS servers, because I couldn't find any of my other DDR3. I just lost all like 1,700 gigs I have lying around. That was cool. So, and then I installed the stupid cooler, and yeah, and then I decided to go with a pretty reasonable graphics card for this, so we went with, naturally, the NVIDIA Titan V, because, yeah, duh. So that's good. So we installed our NVIDIA Titan V, and the board kind of flexed a little bit there at some point. I don't know. Like I said, I'm recording this voiceover without actually watching the video that I'm voicing over. I'm a genius. So it's cool. So yeah, I just installed that. I said, yeah, there you go. Fuck it. So. And then I proceeded to load up the best operating system that I have ever used personally, and that's right, I'm using the joke. That's right, boys, it's Windows 8.1 Professional. Yep, I modified an ISO to avoid having to put in a license key. So yeah, we're going to be doing Windows Professional, but before we do that, and we're going to check out the BIOS of this board, and it's a bit interesting. So, you know, we got a bunch of settings here that I can't remember off the top of my head while recording this voiceover, but take a look. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool settings here, you know. We could see the name of our processor, I think, maybe, and a bunch of other cool stuff about, you know, shit. And we changed our boot device so we can install Windows from a USB, because we're installing it for the first time, because we're dumb as shit. And so that's pretty fucking great. Yeah, so that's the BIOS, and if you're wondering how the hell I recorded the BIOS, well, it's quite simple. I use a very, very tiny screen, which has a built-in recorder, and that's what I use to record my 6K video out of my camera. And it can also be used to record any HDMI signal that goes into it. So, even though I looked like a fucking idiot playing on this thing with my default Dell keyboard and mouse, and this is the gaming setup we're going with. It's like what would this be, like 5 inches across? Something like that. Pretty fucking massive if you ask me, 5 inches. So yeah, I'm playing on this display. That's what I'll be using and recording on that. It has a little bit of an issue sometimes when the resolution changes. But anyways, let's get into Windows 8.1 Professional. And this is an amazing OS. Unfortunately, there are no drivers for the NVIDIA Titan V in Windows 8, and I thought there would be some kind of compatibility mode, but I'm too fucking stupid to figure that out, so I had to install a Windows 8.1 compatible graphics card. Thankfully, I have, like, the best one, the NVIDIA Titan X Maxwell, so we just installed that, and we're going to be using that for the rest of the video. Trust me, for this CPU, it's plenty. Like, really trust me. And another stupid thing I did is I was like, oh, I don't feel like installing games locally on my 90 gigabytes of usable space here, so I copied game files. Now this took me about 3 days because, you know, I have this thing called a job, so I have to do this after work for only like the couple hours I have before I'm dead. So I basically ran all of my games over my network, so they were all installed on the NAS running. So whilst I'm playing games, you can literally see in Task Manager, like loading ready or not, we're using almost a gigabit per second of network bandwidth to get the shit from our drive. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I'm going to do a whole video about gaming over the network because I think it's a really cool thing. And this isn't like streaming it from the network. This is the game is installed on a NAS. The the physical hardware is playing the game, though. It's just getting assets and shit from the NAS. That's where the game files are stored. It's not the same as, like, you know, cloud gaming or whatever. Wow, this has been 5 minutes of useless recording. That's going to cost me like 600,000 fucking gigabytes. So anyways, once I got our games installed, the first thing I will say is, unfortunately, it's an old CPU and is a shitty system, and I just realized why Modern Warfare 2 did not launch. It's because we're running Windows 8.1. I just realized that now while I'm recording this. Like I said, super professional here. While I'm recording this, I just realized why Modern Warfare 2 didn't launch. It's because it's Windows 8.1, and I don't think the game is probably not supported on Windows 8.1. That's fine. So I assumed it was because of the hardware, but I'm a dumb idiot, stupid boy. So never mind. We're just going to skip that, and we're going to move on to a game that did launch after a lot of effort. Ready or Not. I know, right? Ready or Not. So that game launched, and it got a huge update, so there's a bunch of new levels, and I'm trying this level for the first time, and it runs in the lobby pretty decently, because the graphics card's fine. This is at ultra settings 1080p, and it's okay. It's not bad. As you can see, it's pretty alright. My stomach hurts so bad. So anyways, it's pretty good. You get into solid, 90 FPS in the lobby, and then we get into a mission, and oh boy, it's like 30 FPS. It playable, cinematically at the very least, and at the very least you can order the teammates to go and do shit, and it is cool and all, but I don't think this is very playable. And the crazy thing is, this CPU can boost up to like 3-something gigahertz. I couldn't get the clock speed to show up in MSI Afterburner because I'm a dumb, stupid idiot, boy, as we just discussed. But either way, getting like 30 FPS because the CPU is probably chilling at like 2.6, 2.8 gigahertz anyway, and it's old. What does this thing come out like 2009, 12, 13, something like that? So anyways, yeah. So moving on to the next game, I also, real quick, I tried a second level just to make sure. It's about 30 FPS. That's about what we're going to get in this game. And we're CPU bottlenecked. I mean, look, the GPU's using like 30% at max settings. This game is pretty nice looking, though, as you can see. Now, moving on to a more reasonable game, Grand Theft Auto 5. So, GTA 5, usually I end with it. We have one more game, but I'm going to go with GTA 5. And I thought this would run better, but actually we got a warning that the CPU is too fucking slow. We got a grandma CPU warning here. So anyways, I was like, well, that's a little bullshit. This thing can boost to like 3-something gigahertz. Why the hell, It says maximum speed is like 2.4 or whatever. 2.6. But I've never seen it say maximum speed. It usually says base clock, but whatever. So anyways, GTA 5 runs also pretty poorly. Maximum settings, 1080p. 30-something at 30-40 FPS. It's pretty not great. It's sad for story mode, pretty sad. Even lowering the settings doesn't really help because, again, it's CPU bottlenecked. This CPU has uses, and for VMs and stuff, which is something I work a lot with, this will be very useful. But for gaming, it's fucking garbage. Except when we get into our last game, a game from around the time this CPU came out, and around the time Windows 8.1 came out, actually. Yeah, that's right, it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and oh my god, if you had one of these very expensive CPUs at the time, boy, would you have a great gaming experience, especially if you paired it with a GTX Titan X Maxwell for some reason, because oh boy, we're getting over 100, over 200 FPS. And there's a 120 hertz display, this little fucking display thing, this piece of shit fucking display. It's doing pretty great. Doing pretty fucking amazing. So I played through a whole game. I had fun. It was a little hard to play considering it felt super fucking weird. On this small display, it wasn't exactly the most playable experience, but I played it. Now this game I did install locally because it's like 5 gigabytes. But that's pretty great. So that's it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. We're going to leave that gameplay up. Now, one thing I will note is, I forgot to mention this, but while I was playing Ready or Not, I don't know if you can hear this on the recording. I'll describe it, but here's the recording. I put my phone next to it. It sounded like it was about to fucking explode. Like you could literally hear, like, it sounds like electrical noise from like a cap about to fucking burst, or it was when the Ethernet was loaded to like a gigabit per second fucking pinned while loading the assets. And I was like, dude, is our fucking Ethernet controller about to fucking explode? Thankfully it didn't, but that was super weird. Kind of shitty that it sounds like that. That's crazy. But anyways, that's it. That's the whole video. I didn't record an outro with my face and shit, because again, I'm going fucking, I'm having a time here, man. And it's not a good one. But hey, that's fine. It feels like there's spiders crawling inside of my skin. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed. It's a little bit of a different video, but you didn't even make it this far anyway. If you did, I love you. Put a little heart in your comment. You know, like the arrow with the 3. You know, it's just super cool. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!